Hey all, my name is László Lever. Welcome to my channel Coaching. Today I would like to show you that how you can create a Java Maven package and how you can share this package with many different applications. Today we will create a package, we will deploy it to the Maven package registry, which will be on GitHub in our case today, and after that we will use this package as a dependency in another project, and we will synchronize it to our project, so our project will download the dependency from GitHub, and we will be able to use the shared function which we will write in the package in our main application. Okay, let's get started.
To be able to check out my tutorial, you need a React Vite application. I created one with the usage of TypeScript, and if you run the npm run dev command, then you will have a running React Vite application. If you have, then you are ready for my tutorial. So let's open the VS Code or your IDE, and let's start with the environment variable part. So we would like to use environment variables inside our application to be able to separate between our environments, for example, test, integration, production, staging, other environments. And how to do it? Because we will build our React application, the environment variable values should be in the builded content already. Okay, let's start with creating a new file in the root named vite.env.d.ts. This is a type definition file basically. And here we writing reference types Vite client. Okay, and after that we are creating an interface. Name it import meta env, and we have a read-only property Vite environment name. Okay, interface, we have another interface, import meta, we read only env, import meta env. Okay, somewhere we would like to store our environment variables. So in the src folder, create a shared folder, and inside of it, please create a project env variables ts file. Okay, the first thing that we need a type where we describe our environment variable list. So we call it project env variables type. It's a pick, and we're writing import meta env here, and we are writing Vite environment name or Vite application name, and we will have another one, Vite application version, for example, or something like that. Okay, we have a const project env variables, and here we have the values, but we will use here placeholder and somewhere we will place the real values later. I'm copying this one. Okay. And also we will have a function here which will return our environment variables. So export const get project env variables. We need a type for this one, so okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm just writing here that if the project m variable, the project m variables that m variable, so this value, if this value not includes the Vite, then we would like to use the value, so this value from here. Instead, we would like to use the value here from the environment file. For example, if we run the application as a Node.js application. This is because if we will use the final builded version from our Docker file, the static one which will be served by the Nginx, there these values will be always the final values, so not this placeholder, the final value. So the final value will not contain this Vite underscore, so we will use the final value. Oops, the final value. Instead, we have placeholders, then we try to use the values from the meta env. So let's create this logic for the other two environment variables. Okay. So we have this file. Okay, now the main thing, the magic, will be in the viteconfig.ts file. Open your viteconfig, and here we need to refactor this function basically. So define config, we have a parameter mode, and inside the function we open a const. Oops. To be able to use this process in your TypeScript, it's recommended to run this command. Okay. And after that, return plugins and here we will create a new chunk. We would like to put this project and variables to a separated chunk to be able to handle it precisely in our Docker file. Source map. And the other thing that I mentioned before, that in production mode we don't want to generate source maps. And here we can do it easily with a conditional check that if env dot Vite generate source map is equal to true, then we are generating source map. Instead we are not generating it. So yeah, but we don't have this. Let's create this environment variable too. So Vite generates source map. Okay, Vite generates source map, and the build config should be rollout options. Format is ECMAScript. Globals. React. Okay. Manual chunks ID any. This exception, so we would like to use the any. And if project and variables .ts, so we are talking about this project and variables ts file, then return project and variables. That's it. We can try it out. So locally we can create a new .m file and we can put these environment variables there. So generate source map, yes. Oops. The Vite environment name is dev. The application name, my test application. And the application version is 001, for example. And let's open our application file and let's use this. And we will just put it anywhere. So let's use divs and version. And maybe the environment name. Okay, let's try it out. Here you can see my test application 001 and dev. And now we would like to check that our separated chunk is working or not. Yeah, so stop the application and run npm run build and check out the output. So in the dist folder, you need to check out that do you have this project and variables.js file. And here you can see that it looks like this one. And we need a logic which will replace these values from the environment values from our Docker container. So the next step will be that we will create our Docker file and somehow we will write this logic. Okay, so let's create a Docker file here. And here you can see that I'm using 22.11.0. So from node, yeah, I don't want to use the arg here. Rather than I would like to use workdir /app, copy package JSON, package lock JSON inside, run npm CI. After that, copy everything. After that, we can run npm run build from Nginx Alpine, because we would like to serve the static content with Nginx. And here we need to tell that which environment variables we would like to use. So we are creating this one for our environment variables. Okay. We are exposing the port 80, and next thing, before we continue, we are creating a new configuration for the Nginx. So to be able to create the configuration, let's create a new folder in the src named config. And in the config, let's create another folder named app. another folder named Nginx. Create a new folder named conf.d. And the default conf file should be placed there. Oops, sorry, this is not char set. Init scripts, and here create a new file named 100 init project m variables as each. The magic will happen here. Basically, we will replace the placeholders in the file, the project m variables JS file, with the environment variables. This shell script will replace the placeholders with the real environment variable values in the JavaScript file, and this shell script will be run when the Docker container starts, because we will copy it into the Docker entry point.d folder, and the Docker container will run it automatically. We are writing a wildcard here, star, because the generated project and variables JS file name contains a random hash code. So and we are using this env sub st. This is a tool. We are writing into the project m variables content to project m variables temp. And also we are replacing the values with this one, and after that we are copying it back. So this is not needed. And we can remove the temp. We need an nginx conf in the nginx folder. Oops, semicolon is missing here. Okay. Finally, we need an entry point shell script in the app folder. Okay. And maybe that's it. We can go back to our Docker file. And we need to copy all these configurations inside. So, and the work dir is -user /user /share /nginx /html. We are copying the static builded content from builder. Yeah, we call this as builder. It is very important because we would like to copy after that from builder to /app/dist. Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm opening my Docker now. And it's running. One more thing to do before we can build our Docker images to we need to set the right to be able to run the shell script. So here place the run no 3.t there and everything okay. Now let's build our Docker image. If you build it, then you should see it here, and we can run our container now. We can set the environment variables here. Of course, in a real-life application, these values will come from the Kubernetes cluster or Azure or Docker Swarm or any other source. We expose the port 80 inside to the outside port 3000. Okay, so let's set the environment variable. Let's check out the running application inside the browser. And here you can see that the environment variable value is here. This is Docker example, the version 1.0. The environment is prod, and if we check the source map, the source map is still here, and we need to make it working. So we can check also in the running container that you can see that the source map files are here. How to solve this problem? The problem is that the generate source map environment variable should be used during the build process and not inside the second stage in our Docker file, so not from the Nginx side. So it is nothing to do with the shell script. It is replacing this variable value as well, but it's too late. We need it during the build time. So go back to our Docker file and copy this Vite generate source map and arg settings before the build command. And after that, rebuild our Docker image. You can pass in the build arg, generate source map false, and try to rerun the application. And here you can see that we don't have source maps now. If we also check it inside the Docker container, you cannot see the source maps anymore here. So that's it. We have a running React application without source map. the environment variables are set. And I promise that I have one more little additional thing that we will do here. This is the absolute imports. It is a very nice feature if you are using absolute imports. Okay, to demonstrate this, I have already created a cars component and the car component. In the app TSX, I'm importing the cars from components minus component slash car slash cars. This is not nice, but for this example, it's perfect. And let's check the cars component. We are importing the car component from this path. This is a relative path. And what happens if I move the cars component to another folder, one folder up, for example? Then we always need to change the relative path. VS Code helps us to refactor it, but it is not nice. It will be nice. It would be nice if we can just use src slash cars slash car, and it is always this one. It doesn't matter where we are putting our cars component, basically. And for this one, we need to install a new package, Vite tsconfig paths. Okay, and go back to our Vite config, and here let's put it here. From here. The next thing is to do, open this tsconfig app. Write this one. I'm just missing it here from, okay, and the tsconfig node, put it here, and here you can see that now it is, oops, it is working from this path as well. Okay, let's try out with the Docker image. Okay, it's working.
Okay, thank you very much for watching. That's all for now today. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will find many interesting tutorials on this channel in the future as well. Please press the like button because it will help me a lot. Thank you very much again. Have a nice day. Bye.